Yo, what's going on, guys? Johnny GB here, bringing you Week 4 of the Pokemon Global League. I do apologize for this battle being late. It's Saturday today. Battle was supposed to be uploaded yesterday. Trying to get this battle uploaded as soon as possible. But we're taking on Supagasi and the New York Shelmets. So if you guys haven't seen his side of the battle, go check it out. Link is down in the description below. But you guys see the team we're bringing. We got Yuxi, Scarf Nian Xiao, Assault Vested Primarina to take on Manaphy and Kingdra. We also have Rotom Heat, a sub 3 attack set. Then we also have Mega Metagross, Rock Polish, and a Landorus Rock Polish set with Flyenium Z. So we're going to get right into this battle against Gassy here. It was a very fun battle to play. This is one of the better battles. Towards the end, this is one of the more of the fun battles. Middle part, I was a little cranky. So he's going to lead off with his Scizor, as I'm going to lead off with my Yuxi. I wanted to get Stealth Rocks up, but I also did not want to take a lot of damage from a U-turn or a knockoff, so I'm just going to go straight into my Landers. I can, 1, not get knocked off because I have Flyenium Z, and 2, I get an Intimidate off. So, works out for the both of us. So there, he does go for the knockoff. Gonna do a good chunk of damage. I go for Gravity here. Now, I do think this was a mistake. I should not have shown Gravity this early, because he still has that Doug Trio around. And you're going to see here in a second why this is important. He's just going to withdraw, and he's going to go out to his Pelipper, or his Tapu Koko. Now, I was scared of HP Ice. I did not have a Yachi Berry, and HP Ice just flat out kills me. So, I just go out to my Rotom, as he makes the right play and goes for the U-turn. And you're going to see why Gravity is important here. He goes out to Doug Trio. Now, I can't Levitate, which means I'm stuck by Arena Trap. I'm not airborne, so Earthquake hits me, and he pretty much gets a free KO on my Rotom, which is a very important Pokemon because it does deal with Scizor. Now, we did have to replay this because there was a DC. So, this is what I'm going to explain here. He's going to go for the Stealth Rock. Very good play. I brought no hazard removal, so Stealth Rocks are important for later on in the game. Here, I'm just going to go for the Scald. Now, in the first battle, I did get the Scald burn, and we replayed it up to this next part, so he's just going to go for the Stealth Rocks again, just because I did kill the Doug Trio with Primarina off a Scald Burn. So, that's what happens at that point. And now, this is where we were trying to replay to. We were trying to get to this matchup of Primarina versus Manaphy. Now, he's going to first start off with his Pelipper, as he's going to get the Rain up. And I do think he was Damp Rock because this rain did last a long time. And I'm just going to show Moonblast there, as his Pelipper is just going to U-turn on my Primarina. He's going to go right out to his Manaphy here, which I probably should have taken advantage of it ahead of time. I was really unsure of what his build was. I did not know if he was max HP, max defense, Calm Mind, or if he's from what he told me, he was max speed Manaphy. So, you'll see why that's important later on. I'm just going to be going for the energy balls now, because that's all I can do. And it's going to be like this for the next probably 10 turns. It's just going to be a lot of Calm Mind, stallish style battles. So what's going to happen here is I'm just going to be trying to fish for special defense drops. Now, the first time we played through this, I did get one special defense drop, which made it a little bit easier, but at this point, you're going to see he's just going to go for rest. The hydration's going to kick in, and it's going to be like this for a while. I should have brought Haze Primarina. I mean, that was an option, but did not end up working for me, and this is just going to be a long time coming right now. We're just going to be stuck, and he does show acid armor at this point, which pretty much means like, oh gosh, I can't go to Metagross, and that's what I should have done originally. He's probably gone to Metagross because he was no defense Manaphy. I think he might have been like 52 defense EVs Manaphy instead of the 252 that I've been calcing, and he's pretty much trying to set up his Manaphy to sweep, and I'm just trying to stall out Rain Turn so that it can't hydrate back up. And again, I'm just fishing for that special defense drop. If I can get one special defense drop, it just helps me out tremendously. But I was not getting it. And we're 4 turns in since the rain's been started, so I have that feeling that it's just going to be Damp Rock. And it's just going to just get worse and worse. I'm just praying this rain stops. I'm praying to get a special defense drop or even a crit. A crit would put me in such a good position, but it just was not happening for me at this point in the battle. It was not happening for me. I was still in a good position because I do have Metagross in the back, which can sweep. Instead, he gets the crit on the Scald. I was done wasting my energy balls, and I went for the Moonblast, maybe try to get a special defense or special attack drop, but the crit on Primarina just pretty much means that I couldn't stall him out. The rain ended. I could have put his Manaphy in a real tough spot, seeing as it would have to go to sleep twice. I can go into Metagross, hit it with a couple Thunder Punches, but because he got that crit, I could only take 3 Scalds, I think, is what, at this point, I could take, instead of being able to take 5 Scalds, 4 or 5 Scalds. You're going to see there's 1, so it was 2 Scalds, 3 Scalds I could take. And pretty much my goal was to weaken Manaphy, so that's where that crit really just hurts me. I could have taken 2 more Scalds, really just weaken this Manaphy, because if he rests, it gives me a switch into Metagross, hit him up with 2 Thunder Punches, but now he's in a spot where I can no longer do that. So the crit was a little frustrating because I just needed to get a couple more energy balls off and potentially even get a crit, but just did not get that happening with the Primarina. Primarina's going to fall, and pretty much at this point I have to sack off something, so I go out to Mienshao because I need this Manaphy to stop getting leftovers recovery. I just need it to. So I'm just going to go for the knockoff, and that takes out my Mienshao. Now here is one of the biggest misplays of the game. I was not anticipating max speed Manaphy. So at this point I was calcing Flanium Z did kill Manaphy, but I was not thinking max speed. So instead of going out into my Metagross, Thunder Punching the Manaphy, I end up taking out one of the things that can damage Scizor heavily. So now I'm really behind. I have Metagross, I have Uxie. I don't know what I'm gonna do. And he's just gonna sack off his Manaphy at this point. I'm gonna Mega Evolve. I go for the Thunder Punch, which was a roll to kill if he was max defense, max HP. But finding out after the battle, he was max speed. So he was timid max speed, or not max speed, timid with like 220 to outspeed Landorus, which I was not thinking of. So at this point, put me in a position to where Metagross is going to have to try to bring this battle back. I go for the Earthquake to see how much this would do to his Scizor. Does a good amount here as he's just going to U-turn and go out into his Pelipper. Now, the rain's important because he does have Kingdra in the back, and I would need a lot of luck at this point for me to win. Now, I set up a Rock Polish on this Pelipper. I knew he was probably going to withdraw, and he was probably going to go out to his Tapu Koko to try and KO me, which leads me to guess that he probably had Thunder. So, didn't want to worry about missing Thunder. I do set up the Rock Polish as the Tapu Koko comes in. So now, we got a real good chance now. I'm going to need a little bit of luck, but we're in a very good opportunity to try and win this game. Metagross is going to pick up its 7th kill of the season here against the Tapu Koko. But it's not a Johnny GB battle unless you do something to really screw it up. I go for Earthquake, not thinking that Electric Terrain boosts Thunder Punch, which would have eventually KO'd this Scizor. Instead, I'm hoping for crits instead of thinking, oh hey, I have Electric Terrain up. Why don't I just Thunder Punch it? Had I Thunder Punched that first one, I would have been in a much better spot. As you can see, it does a lot more damage, and I could have eventually tried to weaken it even more. But instead, that first Earthquake kind of just spaced out on me. And pretty much at this point, it's just pray and hope for a crit. That's all I needed. I crit, I win this game with one flinch onto the Kingdra. That is the way I win. But all good things do not happen. I was not able to KO the Scizor, and pretty much just going to click Earthquake until I get a crit, which at this point won't even kill it. And he's just going to roost off all this damage and just roost stall me out. I'm not going to complain. I really played the Landorus bad. I could have killed the Manaphy with the Metagross, and I could have saved this, I could have dealt with the Scizor a lot easier, but not much I can do at this point. I thought about putting HP Fire instead of Zen Headbutt, but I kept the Zen Headbutt, which you guys are going to see I go for here, mostly just to try to flinch his Scizor. But that's not even happening, so he just goes for the knockoff. Just going to do a good amount of damage. I go, I believe, for another Zen Headbutt just to try to flinch and maybe get an Earthquake, but pretty much anything I needed to happen, I did not have happen. And it was mostly just because I did play bad with the Rotom. The Gravity, pretty much that just ensured that's the last time I'm bringing Gravity. The 2 times I brought Gravity with Landorus Therian, it's never worked out. Did not work out in the PMC against J-Specs, and it did not work out here against Gassy. It ended up costing me the battle because Rotom could have dealt with this Scizor. As I'm just going to go to Uxie. All I have is U-turn, so pretty much wave that white flag. As he's just going to go for the knockoff. Knock off my Light Clay. Getting screens up would have been nice. Would have helped me versus Manaphy potentially, but it's hindsight at this point. Not much I can do versus this Scizor. I let my one thing to kill Scizor die in a very stupid manner. As Scizor is just going to go for the U-turn to KO the Uxie, and like that we are going to take a 3-0 loss. It could have been a 6-0 loss. I played the beginning of this game very poorly and just didn't have one tiny string of luck to try and potentially bring it back to win this game. But I mean, he prepped this perfectly. The Acid Armor, Calm Mind Manaphy against a team with really nothing to phase it out, and that's my fault prep-wise. I did not try to phase out the Manaphy, and ended up ultimately leading to my defeat. But good game, Gassy. Very good prep on his end. I know we will probably see him in the playoffs. And again, we're 2-1 or 3-1 now, so can't complain. We're still above 500 on the record-wise. Next week we'll be taking on Sketchy Smeargle and the Seattle Smeargles. So be hyped up for that battle. I'm excited for it, as he does have a very good team on his end. But if you guys enjoyed the battle, go ahead, leave a like on the video, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Go over, subscribe to Gassy, show him some support. But with all that being said, guys, I am Johnny GB, and I am out.